Practice exercise 3, time, speed, distance. Question 17. A young man can do a work in 10 days. Father does the same work in 15 days, while grandfather finishes in 20 days. So the man can do the piece of work in 10 days. Father does it in 15 days and grandfather does it in 20 days. As usual, we'll assume the quantity of work. The quantity of work, as usual, I'll say it should be LCM of 10, 15 and 20 so that we don't have a problem of fractions or decimals. This LCM is 150, 300. LCM of this is 300. So man will do 30 units per day. The father will do 20 units per day. And the grandfather can do 15 units per day of work. Now let's try to understand what is happening. They work together for 3 days. So 2 days. So the first 2 days, father plus grandfather plus the man, all 3 of them work for 2 days. Then the young man left the job. His father left the job a day earlier than completion of the work. That means the last day was done alone by the grandfather. The grandfather worked alone for 1 day, and for the remaining number of days, only the father and the grandfather worked together. Okay. Now, for 2 days the father and grandfather worked, and the son worked. All 3 of them worked together. For 1 day the grandfather worked alone. 1 day the grandfather worked alone, his speed of working is 15 units per day. So in that 1 day, 15 units of work has happened. 2 days, all 3 of them worked. When they are working, all 3 of them, they would do 30 plus 20, 50 plus 15, 65. So 65 units of work is accomplished by father plus the grandfather and the man on a daily basis. So in 2 days, they would have done 65 into 2, 135 units. All in the first 2 days, 135 units of work is done. Last day, 15 units of work is done. The total amount of work is 300 units. That means the father and the grandfather together have worked for 300 minus 150, which is 150 units. So 150 units of work was done by the father and grandfather. But the father and grandfather, they work at the rate of 20 plus 15, 35 units per day. So the number of days taken by them would be 150 units of work was accomplished by father and grandfather at the rate of 20 plus 15, 35 units per day upon 35, which is nothing but 30 by 7. 5 7s are 35, 5 30s are, which is equal to 4 2 by 7 days. So the father and the grandfather worked for 4 2 by 7 days. The grandfather worked alone for 1 day, and all 3 of them worked together for 2 days. So the total number of days required is 4 plus 2 plus 1, 6, 7, 2 by 7 days. Choice D. Again, you would notice, because we took the amount of work to be LCM of the 3 days which were mentioned, our calculations become somewhat easier. Okay.